Hello, friends, and welcome to Empower You 2 podcast. I'm your host, Natasha Paris, and I'm excited because you are in the building with me. You can be anywhere in the world, but you have chosen to be here with me, and I am so humbled and appreciative. Let me tell you about this show. Each and every single week, we continue to empower you to greatness that is truly going to help you, whether you are a person that have experienced a heartbreak, have gone through a divorce, or have endured levels of trauma of any kind, or you're just a person trying to rebuild their life and themselves, and now you are finally ready to live a life full of abundance, joy, and peace, then this show is for you. So with that said, thank you again for being here. I am extremely grateful. I'm excited to be on this journey with you because together we are empowered for greatness. You ready? Let's go. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Empower You 2 podcast. I am your host, Natasha Paris, the mental health therapist expert, as well as the empowerment strategist. I am so delighted to come before you as your host to talk about something that oftentimes happens. Right now that we are in a new year, what I find to be the case, people tend to worry about the things that they want to accomplish and have yet to accomplish. And we know New Year's resolutions, people, by the 15th of January, they have forgo all of their promises and their desires to have or achieve and obtain a goal. And so what I know for sure is that worrying is a big problem. It truly is a big problem because what I see often in my clinical practice as a therapist is that more often than not, people are coming in worrying about all the things that have happened or the things that are going to happen. And so my question to you, my friends, is that you? Is that you? Are you the person that tends to worry about things that have happened, or you're worried about what you want to happen and you're not seeing the vision, right? Because in order for things to happen in your life, my friends, you have to be able to see what it is that you want. You have to be thankful for what that looks like before it actually shows up in the physical realm, right? Because it happens in the spiritual. So let's jump right into this episode. Again, look, if you love this episode or you just love my voice in the very beginning and you are like excited about what is about to be shared and given to you, I want you to hit a 5-star button on your favorite podcast social media platform and leave a comment. Okay, leave a comment about how this has resonated for you. But let's jump right into this. Again, episode 58. That is our episode, and today's topic is how to stop worrying and walk into your peace. Let's go. I'm going to say that again. Episode 58, how to stop worrying and walk into your peace. My friends, you have to stop right now. I'm talking to you. Stop all that worrying, because that worrying does nothing to help you. Because what it does, it actually hurts you. I know you know this. I'm not speaking on some things that I have not shared before or things that you have not heard before. Okay, so let's talk about the impact and the effects of worrying, and then we'll talk about how to get from out of that place of worry, right, and cultivate a sense of peace and faith. Really, peace and faith. Okay, so let's jump right into this. Worrying can have various effects on the mind and body, because we know that the mind is not separate from the body. They coexist. And what happens in our mind can ultimately impact and affect our physical body. Okay. And so mentally, what we know is that worrying can lead to increased anxiety, difficulty concentrating, and disruptions in sleep patterns. Let me tell you, What is the definition of worry? I'm going to tell you from my own experience, because I've been there. I'm human. I'm flesh. I have worried about things. And I'm not sitting here saying, oh, do not worry. Yeah, I am saying that, but you have to understand where it comes from. So let's break that down a little bit. Where does worry come from? Worry comes from, I'm going to be honest with you, it comes from the devil himself, right? If you are a Christian, understand that in the good book, it talks about how worry is really not of God. It really is not of God. There are 100 scriptures in the good book that really refrains and refers back to how worrying is so harmful. And what I know for sure from my own life and counseling countless individuals for the past 24 years is that worrying really, really causes you to lose faith in what you know is possible. Because what is the definition of faith? Faith is having hope, having hope in the midst of not being able to see it, right? I'm breaking it down very, very simple. Having hope of wanting something, even though it has not shown up, but being very thankful that it's already here, that it's already being manifested in your present physical form and life. Okay. And so worrying is the complete opposite of that, my friends. So faith is the substance of things hoped for, right? That's the scripture version, right? Substance of things hoped for and an evidence of things unseen. Right? Evidence of things unseen in the physical realm. And so worrying is the complete opposite of that, because what that does, it basically says that you have no hope. You don't think that things are going to get better. You don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And because you don't see it, you become fearful. Oh, let's go there. I'm talking some stuff. You become fearful. And what I am calling you to do today is stop the worrying. Stop the worrying. God has you. He has you. And physically, it can manifest into like tensions in your muscles, or were you feeling body aches, headaches, particularly stomach issues, right? Stomach issues. Worrying literally can cause you to have an ulcer. Because you know how they say, you have that kind of ill feeling in your stomach, right? You feel your tightness of your chest, and it can actually turn into something so much more. And there have been some studies that say that worrying can cause not just tightness in the chest and stomach issues, but it can actually begin the start of cancer. Yes. Okay. So it's pretty serious. It really is pretty serious. And chronic worrying may also weaken your immune system and contribute to long-term health problems, right? So it's important to find healthy ways to manage and reduce worry, such as practicing mindfulness and regular exercise. But we're going to go right into that. We're going to talk about it. But I want you to understand that if you continue to worry, you are basically saying to God that I don't trust you, that I don't believe that you are the Alpha and the Omega, that you don't believe that He can make things turn around in your favor. That's what worrying basically does. It makes you appear doubtful and also weak. Yes, I hate to say that, but it's the truth. Right? A person who has a strong mindset is a strong person. A person who has a weak mindset is a weak person. And so I'm saying this and I'm keeping it 100, my friends, because I want you to get better. So let's talk about how to stop worrying and walk into your peace and faith, right? Walk into that. Okay, so here are some strategies that I have thought about, that I've used, that I've assisted my clients with, and it really has made a huge difference. Okay, so the first thing that you need to know is that you can focus, and you must. The first thing is focus on what you can control, right? focus on the things that you can control. Identify what is it that you can control, right? So for example, you want to look at, all right, what am I worried about? I'm worried about the fact that I'm overweight. Okay, so is that something that you can control? Yeah, you possibly can. And I think pretty much you can, right? Looking at how you eat. Not just the way you eat, but incorporating exercise, and not just that, getting some sleep, right? Those are the factors and those are the things that can reduce your weight gain, right? But are you focused on changing someone? You're worried about your husband or your spouse who just can't get it together, and you're constantly worrying. Or you're in a relationship and it's not what you want it to be and you're worried about it. Or you're worried about, losing your job. I mean, these are some of the things that I'm going to tell you, my friends, you can't control. You cannot control your employer, from letting you go. You really can't. You can't dictate how they're going to do it, right? You can't control all of the people in your life. All you have to do and all you can do is control you. Start writing down, and you know what I say, that it's important for you to really start jotting things down, writing things down that mimics, right, what you're thinking. And then when you're writing it down, then you begin to see it on physical, like you see it on paper, and you're like, wait a minute, okay, I'm worried because my boyfriend I believe he's not faithful. Well, what you going to do about that? You can confront him, you can talk about it, but if he continues to do it, you can't control him. Or you can't control your employer, or you can't control, people who are constantly asking you questions, but you sure can control how you respond. Come on now. So that's the first strategy, right? Focus on the things that you can control and have the courage to make a decision, right? All right, so the second one is practice mindfulness. For those who don't know, I am a mindful instructor, and I talk about being in the present moment. And so engaging in mindfulness techniques such as meditation, deep breathing, or yoga can help you stay present and reduce anxious thoughts. Too often we are in tomorrow or we're in the past. Our mind, our physical body is in the present, but our mind is so far away from what is happening right here, right now. Is that you? Are you that person that's constantly thinking about what's going to happen tomorrow or what has happened already yesterday? So those things are super important for you to pay attention to, right? And so when you're practicing mindfulness, that means that you, and if you have not listened to my early episodes, that particularly is all about affirming, meditating, and it's only about 12 to 13 minutes, right? You can dedicate some time to you. Yes, you can. Don't tell me that's too long. Come on now, right? But you want to be in a safe, comfortable place when you're really breathing and doing my episodes within my podcast. Okay. So with that said, practice mindfulness. If you have not meditated before, try it. It makes a huge difference. And taking deep breaths, breathing in through your nose and then holding it for 2 to 3 seconds and then releasing it out through your mouth. Just that makes a huge difference. So practice mindfulness, meditation, right? Deep breathing. And deep breathing can take place at your desk. It can take place in your office. It can take place in your car, right? Just don't close your eyes when you're driving, okay? Okay. All right, so that's the second one. And the third strategy is that I want you to begin to challenge those negative thoughts. I'm going to stay there. It is so vital for you to challenge those negative thoughts when they come up. right? Try to challenge them with rational thinking, right? Consider whether your worries are based on facts or assumptions and try to reframe them in a more positive way. So, in other words, what you have to do is you have to see those negative thoughts come. You have to pay attention. And that's also in that piece of being mindful and being present. Pay attention to what you're thinking about. Think about what you're thinking about, right? And so when those negative thoughts come, do not entertain it. Do not pull out the popcorn and start watching the movie in your head. Okay, because that movie will be full of suspense, drama, horror, love, right? It's gonna be full of those themes because you are playing out what you think is about to happen, right? Or what has happened, but you just added a lot of animation to it. When that thought comes, you see it coming, because my friends, it's going to come. Those negative thoughts are going to come, right? But the question is, are you going to entertain it? Are you going to entertain the negative thoughts? And that means, are you going to sit there and watch the movie, the reel, play in your head? Or you're going to say, no, I'm not receiving that negative thought. I know who I am. I know that I have great things in store for me, and I'm not focused on that. Right? You can say that as a strategy when the negative thoughts come. Or, I've said this before, you can really trick your brain where the negative thought comes and you immediately notice it when it comes. And then you actually take on the challenge of counting backwards, right? From 20 or 100, or even more difficult, saying your alphabets backwards. Oh, who can say that, right? Right? Z, X, Y, right? You have to think. The brain has to think. And so when the brain has to reset to think, then guess what? You have your opening. That means that you can run and not think about that negative thought. I mean, run in your head, right? You can reframe it, right? But you need something to jolt the brain into thinking of something different versus you staying in that place. Okay. Don't say, I'm going to count to 5, because your mind can do that. Your brain can do that by default really easily. You have to do something that's not typically something that you do, right? Like counting backwards, or even more difficult, saying your alphabets backwards. Put some comments on the platform, your favorite platform, right? And tell me if you were able to do that and did it help, right? I'm sure you're going to say it helped. Okay. All right. So I want you to challenge those negative thoughts. Do not entertain it. Do not provide it with suspense and horror. Do not do that, because you are defeating the purpose of living an abundant life and being empowered for greatness. You know what I say about that. You know what I say about that. Okay. The other piece is that in addition to having control and practicing mindfulness and challenging negative thoughts, it is so important. Number 4, it's so important that you stay connected with people that love you, right? And so that means that you got to get into that word, and you got to get into people who love you, right? People who will say, you know what, all is well, right? All is well. And also you can share your worries with them. Right? And they'll say, girl, why are you thinking like that? That's not good. Right? So getting some motivation, but on top of that, stay connected to God. Stay connected to God. Because guess what, my friends? Look, it's hard out here in these streets, right? It is hard out here in these streets, living and lifing. It is very difficult. And so you have to come to a place where you say, I am going to think beyond where I am, and I'm going to rely on God. And what does the good book say in Jeremiah 29:11? It says, I have a perfect plan for your life, a plan to prosper you, right? Not to harm you. So remember that if you need to repeat and memorize scriptures, then you do that. Because guess what? If you don't have anything to replace the negative thoughts, it's going to come back really quickly. Okay. So it's important for you to stay connected. It's important for you to do what? It's important for you to make a decision that you are not going to focus on the negative thoughts, but you're going to stay connected around people that love you, that people that's going to give you some criticism, right? And also who's going to provide you with comfort and perspective. Okay. In addition to that, number 5, engage in self-care. You know what I say. I say it throughout every episode because so often we neglect every part of ourselves, right? And then we give every part of ourselves to everybody, right? Come on now. We're neglecting our minds. We're neglecting our physical bodies. We are neglecting our own emotional wholeness, our mental health. So stop it, my friends. Okay. And 6, and I've said it before, I've already said it, but I'm going to go a little deeper in this when it comes to number 6, foster faith and spirituality. For those who are inclined, engaging in prayer, attending religious services, or participating in spiritual practices can provide a sense of peace and connectedness, right? You want to be fully connected. Right? Because look, we are bombarded, my friends, with so much negativity around us, whether it's on the news, whether it is in our neighborhood, whether it is when you're riding on the train, someone gives you a nasty look or whatever that might look like. So we're bombarded with a lot of negativity. And so you have to make a conscious effort to dedicate and commit time to being connected and reading your word, and more importantly, praying and understanding who you really are, right? Because we are spiritual beings living a human existence, and living and loving can be sometimes hard, but you have to do it. You have to be connected. You have to be grounded. Okay. So with that said, it's important to remember that reducing worry and cultivating peace and faith is a process. My friends, it's not going to happen overnight, because if it did, you wouldn't be on this podcast. You would I have it all together. Things are super amazing. You would be on this podcast because you just want to continue to be great. Okay. Right. So feelings of worry persist and can impact you on a daily basis, especially if you are a leader, at your company, whether you are in the C-suite or whether you are a parent or a child, well, not a child, but an adult caring for an aging parent, or you've experienced some loss or death. Yeah. Worrying on a daily basis can break you down. And so my goal on this podcast is to ensure that you become the best version of yourself. In addition, learning what to do when things happen. Okay, so let's go over and let's do a quick overview. Okay, so what did we say about worry? Worry means that we're not trusting God. Worry means that we're stuck in the past or stuck in the future. Right? Worrying is self-defeating. It is super self-defeating. It literally is like you're cutting your own legs from under you and you're going to constantly fall. Okay. So what are some of the strategies? Well, I did say that it's important for you to do what? It's important for you to focus on the things that you can control. You can't control anybody else but yourself. Understand that. Put a exclamation mark on that when you're writing. Focus on what you can control, not what you cannot control, because that is where frustration lies. Okay. The second is I want you to challenge negative thoughts. Challenge them. Challenge your thoughts. Do not sit in continued trying to understand why things are the way they are, or watching the movie in your head. It is important for you to begin to reframe them. And also I said that, there's a little trick that you just trick the brain where you begin counting backwards from 20 or 100, or my friends, You're saying your alphabets backwards. Yep, that's always the best one, okay? All right, and it gives you an opportunity just to get out of that place of worry and stagnation. Number 3 is practice mindfulness, right? You want to be in a place where you are meditating, you're doing some deep breathing or yoga. That helps you stay in the present and reduce anxious thoughts, okay? Also, I want you to stay connected. Seek support from your family, your friends, right? And also share your thoughts with them, okay? And then, of course, number 5 is engaging in self-care. Take care of your physical health, my friends, through regular exercise, eating healthy, making sure you pack your lunch, you meal prep, right? So when you're hungry, you're not running to the vending machine that may not have the best options or running to a fast food place where you'll feel sick later. That would be me, right? Others don't, but I'm just saying, right? Eating healthy and getting sufficient sleep, at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night, will help you reduce stress and worry. And then last but not least, number 6 is foster faith and spirituality. That in itself is, that's a good one, right? Because I want you to get to a place where you are having a prayer life, you're going to church, and also you are participating in the spiritual practices. If it's not Christian, but something else, then you go ahead and participate. But I want you to know that, my friends, you are better today than you were yesterday. You are amazing. You are super smart. And more than anything else, you are God-fearing and God loves you. So with that said, my friends, what is the homework assignment for today? I call it the empowerment assignment. I want you to actually take a concern that you have, a worry that you have, and I want you to take that and apply it. Apply it immediately. All of the strategies that I shared with you today, utilize it today, right? Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till the next day. Utilize it right now, because who's important? Who is important? You are, my friend. I'm talking directly to you. You are important, and you deserve the best life that you can receive. But you have to be open to it, and you have to do the work, right? You have to do the work. Nothing comes easy. Okay, so with that said, I am super excited to have shared this powerful information with you, because what I know for sure is that if you can take this information and apply it, you can be the best version of yourself, and you can actually be that person that will be the light in someone's dark world, okay? And so with that said, I want you to do what? I want you to be empowered for greatness, because without greatness, there's no you, and without you, there's no greatness. Bye. If you are loving this content and our time together as we become empowered for greatness, and you want to connect with me more, I would love for you to come and check out my Self-Empowerment Scholars. It's my monthly empowerment sessions where we take all of the materials learned on the podcast and apply it and study it and take it to the next level. So join me over at Empower You, the letter U, 2, right? The number 2.com/join, or you can text the word empower to 571-464-6511. That's text the word empower to 571-464-6511. Also, if you've ever gained an ounce of wisdom or the episode resonated with you, I simply ask that you do 4 things. The first is I want you to subscribe right now if you have not done so already. The second is I want you to hit that 5-star button on your favorite platform. The third is I want to hear from you. I want to hear your feedback. I want to hear how it has resonated for you. In addition, the last, I want you to share this message with someone. It allows us to spread the message of empowerment to those who are desperately in need. So I look forward to seeing you on the next episode, and I want you to be what? Empowered for greatness. See you soon. Bye.